welcome to SCAN's Community Connections. My name is Tom Hayes. I'm Director of Customer and Community Relations for New Jersey Natural Gas and your host for this program today. And I'm very honored to have Dina Mayo with us, and she's the Director of Community Engagement for the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. So Dina, welcome.
Thank you. So glad to be here today.
Absolutely. We're really thrilled to have you here at SCAN today for our program, because we all love the Girl Scouts and all the good work that you do. So it's really a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you again.
So what do you in particular do for the Girl Scouts?
Well, I'm the Director of Community Engagement, and that means I ensure that the girls have programs and activities that they can do, and also I support the volunteers and their parents, the parents of the girls, to make sure that they have support and training that they need for their positions.
Well, that's great. And we had a little conversation before we went on the air, and you told me you've been involved with the Girl Scouts for 15 years now?
That's right. And that's actually 15 years on staff, but
Right.
before that, like a lot of people, I got involved with Girl Scouts as a volunteer.
Nice.
Because I have had young daughters at the time, and that was my connection to get involved and do something in the community. And I stayed involved and did a lot of different volunteer roles through those 8 years, and then I came on staff.
That's great. That's nice. I like those stories when you're actually, it's like, you know, you're not only working there, you were almost like a client, but as a volunteer, you know, you were involved with the organization before you actually started working there. So that's pretty nice.
That's right.
And 3 daughters, huh?
I do, yes. So it was a natural connection for me, and it was not something nice that a lot of our volunteers like, that they can do things with their daughters, perhaps. And again, you don't have to have a daughter to be involved in Girl Scouts, but it was a natural connection for me.
Yeah, that's great. So how do girls actually participate in the Girl Scouts?
Well, I should mention the age group of the girls that we're talking about are anywhere from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade in high school.
Okay.
Right? And we have online registration now for the girls. So to get involved, they would just go on, and we even have a program where they can pick different opportunities. They put in their zip code, and they may be able to find troops or ways to be involved right online.
Nice.
So that's really a big advancement that we've recently instituted. But Girl Scouts, you know, they do a lot of different things. They're very involved in the community. They're very worldly and global thinking these days. So, you know, Girl Scouts is changing a bit, and we try and keep up with the times with our programs that we offer for them.
Right, which is great. Now you mentioned the different ages, but give me an idea, because I know it's like daisies. I have a daughter, and actually Daisy, Brownie, and
That's
Girl
right.
Scouts, and how does it progress?
Exactly. So the different levels would be, we have a Daisy Girl Scout, as you mentioned, kindergarten and first grade, and then Brownies, second and third, juniors, fourth and fifth, cadets, which would be middle school, sixth, seventh, and eighth. And then our high school girls are seniors, which are 9th and 10th grade, and ambassadors for 11th and 12th. So that's how we've kind of run the gamut.
Wow. Now, just out of curiosity, if a girl wanted to stay involved after high school, is there a title for that group, or
well, they go right
programs?
in. Right, they go right into being an adult member.
Oh,
so some girls opt to be a lifetime member at the. So there's a little, I guess, promotion kind of for them to become lifetime members at that time as they're graduating high school seniors.
Nice.
But regardless, we have adult members that go anywhere from 18 up. And we do have a young alumni group, so we're trying to bolster that and keep the girls involved, because that really is something that we talk about often is, you know, we take them all through from kindergarten to 12th grade, but what's for them next? And
Right.
trying to keep them connected, perhaps while they're in college or immediately after, come back so that we can engage them again.
I think it's probably true with like a lot of programs like this, that, you know, somebody who's involved as a child later on in life wants to become re-engaged, and
Absolutely.
you know, a lot of times life fills in a lot of the blanks, and then later on there's some opportunities, and it could happen at any point. Like you said, it could be in college, could be after college, could be after somebody's married and has raised their children and then wants to become more involved and all that. So But I guess the point is, you're never too old to be involved. Or never too old to be a Girl Scout.
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, Tom, we have men as members as well. So our adult members for men, they can be involved, and dads can be involved. So we really encourage that as well.
Yeah, which is great. And I guess we'll talk a little bit about that later too, right? But now I know that you brought along a little guest, right?
I did.
So
yes.
who'd you bring along with you today?
Well, I mean, if I had my druthers, I would have brought an actual Girl Scout herself.
Okay.
But second best to that, I brought along our girl. And she is what we call our GIRL, the girl, okay? And this prop over here represents our Girl Scout.
Nice.
She is a go-getter. She is an innovator, risk taker, and a leader.
So that's your acronym for girl.
That's right, girl. And that's kind of a new slogan for us. But she represents the characteristics that I just mentioned, and that goes into her building her confidence, character, and making the world a better place, which is really the motto of Girl Scouts, which makes up her DNA.
Excellent. Now, I was told that she was based on you as a young girl. Is that true?
Well, I don't think I can take credit for that, but it's something that we should hope that all of our girls aspire to, and something that we teach definitely through the curriculum of Girl Scouts.
Very nice, very nice. It's great. Girl Scouts are great, and I've had the honor of being involved with a lot of Girl Scout programs over the years, and I have to say it's very impressive that the training that these girls get and the involvement that they're really, it's like a real nurturing environment, and it's amazing what these girls do. And I've heard them speak and give presentations and talk about the programs and projects they've done. It's really very impressive. So keep up the good work. You guys are doing a great job, of course. Now let's talk about a little bit like one of my favorite things, which is cookie time.
Well, here we are.
Yes, here we are.
That's right, 'tis the season. So we're really excited. We're actually just on the brink of our 100th year of cookie sales.
Amazing.
So yeah, some of the first Girl Scouts actually used to bake their own cookies. All right, so that's how the sale began as a fundraiser. Our founder, Julia Gordon-Lowe, encouraged the girls to be entrepreneurial. So she was a woman before her time, and we feel like our girls, have learned a lot over the years through that type of inspiration. But the Girl Scout cookies are here. They're over 100 years old. And
not these.
No, not these. Oh, no.
They're very fresh.
Yes, they are.
Just kidding.
And to celebrate that 100th anniversary of the cookie sale, we actually have a new cookie for this year.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a pretty impressive
and
cookie.
It's very popular, but it's the s'more cookie.
And that's this one here, right?
That's right. That's right. And actually, I brought some here. I believe you had a chance to taste them earlier.
Yes, I did try one. I snuck it off the plate. If you didn't, maybe you weren't looking, but
What'd you think?
Delicious. And it's very much like a s'more.
That's right.
It's like having the s'more without having to put the fire and everything all together. As much as I enjoy and love that, they probably wouldn't allow me to do that in my office. So I can get the next best thing and actually take one of these cookies, which they're very delicious.
That's right. And actually, just another little tidbit for you. The s'mores recipe of the s'mores were actually one of the very original. Were from Girl Scouts 100 years ago. So
Isn't that impressive?
They kind of instituted that and is inspiration for this cookie.
That is great. That means that even brings more meaning to that cookie, to think that the Girl Scouts are the ones who really created that.
That's right.
Which again, knowing those Girl Scouts, they are a very creative group, so I'm not surprised.
There you
But all these years we're all talking about making s'mores and all that, and who'd have really thought about the fact that it really started and was initiated with the Girl Scouts? That's wonderful to know.
That is. And the cookie sale itself, it's kind of an iconic activity in itself, but the sale is much more than just that. It does raise funds for Girl Scouts. It is a big supporter for the Girl Scout organization, but we like to call the sales actually a program for the girls, and they learn so much from that activity. They learn a lot of skills. One of the biggest things is setting goals, but communication and business ethics. The actual cookie sale, I should mention, for Girl Scouts is the largest girl-led business in the world.
Wow.
So Girl Scout Cookies has really grown over, like I said, the 100 years that we've been talking about. The girls do. They set their goals, and that's really kind of the impetus on how that they can reach even further.
Right, right. That's amazing. That's, and growing up, I remember always getting Girl Scout cookies and all that. And now in the office, when anybody comes around, it's like, oh, would you mind buying some? I'm like, yes, yes, I've been waiting for you all year. So it's great.
We appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
Anybody who does that is supporting Girl Scouts.
Yeah, no, which is great. And there's so many varieties now. Like, look at them all here.
Right.
My favorite was always the Thin Mint. But then so many of these others have come into play, and now I'm like, it's hard to choose.
That's right. Well, our big sellers are, of course, the Thin Mints, just what you mentioned. They're always our number one. But Samoa's very popular, and the Tagalongs.
Yeah.
But we have all of them here represented today.
Which is great. I think that's amazing. It really does show you how it's grown. Do you know what was the first cookie, the Thin Mint or anything? Any idea of what was out there the longest?
I'm not sure if they were one of they've
might have been like a chocolate chip cookie or something originally, or
they've changed
oatmeal.
Slightly over the years, but these we have like our top sellers here, and they're always in the mix. And then a few of the varieties change from time to time,
right.
But these right here are they're solid. They've been around.
Which is great. I know when we involved with events and all that, there was always a basket of Girl Scout cookies, and everybody bids on that basket. Everybody wants those Girl Scout cookies.
That's right.
You never go out of style, right?
Absolutely.
But it's really great, and it's really the whole process. When you find out more and more about it, really is amazing. Like you were mentioning, it is teaching young ladies to kind of run a business a little bit, right, and get involved with sales and all that sort of thing. And I know there's even goals involved, right? Like if you raise a certain amount, you can raise enough money to help your troop, or
That's
to
right.
help yourself maybe go on a trip, or
That's right.
things like that, right?
Yeah. So the girls earn basically credits towards. And the troops will, as you said, they maintain those goals, but it affords them to make those plans. Many of them do trips. We actually have girls that travel not only nationally but internationally, and a big part of reaching that goal is through the product sales. We have that's really one of the biggest successes, and something that will apply to later in life is. Just the whole fact that when you set goals, you achieve more.
Right.
And this is a process that they learn by doing. And we find that girls who set their goals higher and higher each year, learn how to achieve, and they use strategies. And so it kind of keeps them interested and focused for that hyper-focus for that particular goal. But we're just wowed at everything that they do achieve.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So, I mean, the cookies are always great to talk about, and one of my favorite topics, but I know there's other programs that the Girl Scouts are involved with.
That's right.
So, before we go into all of that, I guess there's the camp. Maybe we could talk a little bit about camp before we go into our commercial break.
Okay. So, we do have two camps at Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. We have a camp at Camp Sacagawea, which is in Farmingdale, and Camp Amity Acres in Barnegat. And we run a day camp in the summertime. It's going to actually be for 10 weeks this year. So we offer that in both locations. And a lot of parents love it for, it helps them fill in activities for the girls through the summer.
Right.
And, maybe we can mention a few more things that they do there.
Well, actually, what we'll do is we're going to take a commercial break.
Okay.
And we'll keep everybody hanging on the edge of their seats to learn more about the camping process and all the fun things for the Girl Scouts when we return after this short break. Please come back.
Now's a great time to make your home more energy efficient, and the New Jersey Natural Gas Save Green project is here to help. Take advantage of rebates and incentives up to $15,000, designed to make your whole house more comfortable, improve performance, and save you money. Upgrade your older, inefficient heating equipment, central air conditioning system, and water heater with money-saving, high-efficiency equipment. But don't stop there. Your new equipment will have to work harder, wasting energy dollars if your home is not properly weatherized, by reducing air and duct leaks and installing proper insulation. Call the Save Green Project at 877-455-NJNG or visit SaveGreenProject.com, and we'll help you get on the road to maximum energy efficiency and savings and explain how you may qualify for up to $15,000 in rebates and incentives. Call Save Green at 877-455-NJNG.
Well, hello again and welcome back. Again, I'm Tom Hayes with Community Connections here at SCAN, and we're continuing this wonderful interview with Dina Mayo, who is the Director of Community Engagement at the Girl Scouts of the Jersey Shore. And just before we went to break, I know we were starting to talk about camp, but I do have to say that prior to that, we're talking about all these wonderful cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that most of these cookies on the tray here are now gone because the crew came in and really did a number on them. But we did ask the crew, and they all loved that new s'mores cookie. So I think you've got 100% thumbs up from everybody on how great those cookies are.
That's great.
And if you hear crunching in the background, it's just the crew, chewing on their cookies.
That's
so,
okay.
But that was great. So, so we were starting to talk about camp. So you were telling us that there were two camps. There's one in Farmingdale, Camp Sacagawea, right?
That's right.
And then the one in Ocean County.
Right. It's in Barnegat, Camp Amity Acres.
Okay.
So just another little plug. We are taking registrations as we speak for day camp. They've already opened, so anybody wants to spot for their daughters for the summer. I just want to mention a few of the components that we have. A terrific camp, and it has a zip line.
Nice.
And we have a climbing wall. There's boating and swimming at both camps. And it just gives a really great outdoor experience to the girls. It's a great place for them to, make friends and continue to build their self-esteem. And we think it's a really great place, and the girls do too. They have lots of fun.
I'll bet. Now, I remember years ago they talked about being able to do like retreats at the Girl Scout camps for like even corporations and adults for different reasons. Is that still an opportunity or a possibility?
That is true, Tom.
Okay.
We actually have outside groups that rent out the camp all the time. So, if that's something of interest, we offer field trips, whether they can come to our camps or we can go to them. As you said, some businesses, or something popular that we offer is team building.
Nice.
So that's a great way to incorporate camp and bring your staff perhaps off-site and bring it to the Girl Scouts, and we facilitate the programs. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a great opportunity for business folks, because that team building is really critical and really is important. And let's face it, we're all just big kids anyway, right? So we go and have a good time, and it's a good way to really get to know each other better. Mm-hmm. And when you do those types of exercises, I've found that you really do understand people better, and you just feel it's like something's lifted. Like, you come back to being like human, and really understand that how people work together in the best manner possible. And that's really the Girl Scouts in a nutshell for me, is like they really teach girls how to be good people.
Right.
And good leaders and good members of society.
Absolutely.
Which is great. So some of the other programs I know you're involved with are some of the STEM programs, mm-hmm. right? So tell us a little bit about that.
Excellent. Well, we do have some teams that incorporated with Girl Scouts, the robotics team being one of those. And actually, I can report that our robotics team has been competing, and they are currently, their next competition is at the state level.
Nice.
So we're really excited and just kind of cheering them on. And shortly after they wrap up this year's competition, they're going to be turning their next focus onto a project with 3D printing. And I've heard a little bit about something that you were involved in. Maybe want to see how you came about finding out about the Girl Scouts and 3D printers, and what we're going to be doing next.
Great. Well, that's funny you mentioned that. I was at the Girl Scouts
mm-hmm.
office in the Farmingdale office mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
For another project. And while walking through, I usually like to go through and say hello to everybody. And Sue McClure, who's your executive mm-hmm. director, brought me into the room, and I can't remember the young lady's name.
C.Y. Wong?
Yes,
mm-hmm.
and to her office. And we were talking about STEM projects. And again, STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math, correct? Right? Yes. So she was showing us this. She was just in the middle of printing a 3D item, which is pretty amazing. It's this machine that takes, like, in this case, it was like a plastic, and it would kind of bring it through the machine and melt it, and then actually form it into a design that the students had created, which in this case was a bracelet.
Okay.
And I was amazed by it. I was like watching this thing on the computer turn into an actual 4D, like, object, and it
Right.
was pretty impressive. So I talked to her about it. She, mentioned that they had the one, that she would love to have a few more. And I asked her about the price and this, that, and the other thing. And I said, well, submit a request to the New Jersey Natural Gas, and we'll see what we can do. And sure enough, we were able to support that. And now I believe she has a few of these
Absolutely.
3D printers.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing. And I think it's a great thing for anybody, but especially our young girls, to be involved with. And it's wonderful to hear that that's going to be another next project of theirs
That's
to be
right.
working on, right?
We want to thank you for your support in
Ah, it's a
identifying
pleasure.
that need for the Girl Scouts. So yeah, that's definitely, because it takes a long time to print. So it's really exciting that the girls can each have a printer to work on.
Right.
And it'll be great for the team in working on some new projects.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, it's great. And again, it's always amazing. I would recommend to any of our viewers, if you have the opportunity, schedule an appointment to take a tour of the Girl Scout facilities, because you'd really be eye-opening as to really all the things that are going on there and all the wonderful programs. And I think a lot of us, we get so tied up in the day-to-day activities of life that you forget about the more simple things. And when I say simple, that's not demeaning in any way. It's just back to like who we should be. And
Absolutely.
girls and Girl Scouts and scouting in general is such a great thing for our young people and really for our society, and which all leads up to this country. It's really, we're building really good, strong, sensible, human, nice leaders, and it's pretty amazing. So I would recommend that folks get out there and take a look at what's going on in today's Girl Scouts. So we talked about the summer camp and the outdoors. How about the travel?
Travel. Well, we, like I said, with the girls setting goals, we have some great trips coming up. Again, sometimes they're nationally and international, so some of our bigger ones, I know we have just talked to one of the camera crew who has someone connected to going to our trip to the Galapagos.
Right.
So
Now, did they have a cookie in their mouth whenever you were talking to the camera crew?
Actually, yes.
Okay, good.
Was I supposed to say that? Anyway, so that's one of the destinations. We also have girls that are just on the embarking, planning possibly a trip to Disney.
Nice.
That's always popular. And we gauge different sizes, different levels of trips. So they've been to Niagara Falls, for example.
Nice.
Savannah, Georgia is popular
Great.
because that's the birthplace of Girl Scouts in the United States. But they do things locally too. I mean,
Okay.
as you said, they do it on every scale. So we have girls doing things like some of our programs. They might want to go out and learn about glass blowing. They may be learning culinary skills. And so those are popular. They love to horseback ride. And those are all ways that girls can, try new things and be a Girl Scout. They're risk takers. They want to try new things.
Right.
They're innovative, such as the STEM.
Right.
And they're very tech savvy these days. So we kind of want to keep up with them and encourage the direction that the world's going.
Right, which is great. And, I think the world is so busy these days that I think it's tough on parents. They lose track and lose sight of scouting. And I think it's important for folks to really encourage our young people to get involved with scouting. And I think that's across the board.
Absolutely.
And, these activities and, touring sports teams and all these things that kids are involved with, I think a lot of kids are missing out on some of the basics, and that's really where scouting can come in and really help out. So maybe some of our viewers that might have grandchildren or children of their own, it's certainly a good thing to encourage them to make sure that these kids are involved with scouting, because it's really probably one of the best things they can do for their kids. So tell me about the World Thinking Day.
World Thinking Day is, it's a time of year that we think about girls all across the world, actually globally. It's Girl Scouts and Girl Guides. It's a day where we, just kind of recognize the different cultures
Right.
and opportunities, and just like I said, think about the movement globally. I think that's great too, because the girls learn a lot. Sometimes they have events where they're tasting food, or they're learning about cultures and activities, and maybe songs or dance, some customs. And so, it gives them kind of a bigger picture and closeness with their sister Girl Scouts.
That's great. That is great. And then the Women in Politics.
Well, that's a program coming up. We are collaborating with all of the Girl Scout councils in the state of New Jersey, and the girls will be convening at Rutgers University. And at that program, there will be senators and assemblywomen present to talk about governance and policies. And we just think it's a great opportunity for our girls to see and get up close and personal with their government.
That's great. And again, I think all the elements of Girl Scouting are very transferable to politics. And I'm involved in the community with the company and know a lot of wonderful women that are involved in politics, and they are great and strong leaders. And a lot of them, I'll bet you, came through the Girl Scouts because they just have that kind of that style and finesse and trustworthiness and all that. So I do think Girl Scouts and being involved in politics in that sense and letting them have that exposure to women in politics is a great thing. I mean, we have a lieutenant governor that's really phenomenal. So it's really great to see that women can do all these things, and it's great that the Girl Scouts really encourages that. And then you have the aviation program, which I think is pretty exciting, right?
That's right. This program's taking place in Wall Township, and their girls are going to be able to meet women pilots and learn about aviation and get up close and personal to the airplanes and just really find out the insides of what happens.
That's really great. That's
a really
great,
unique opportunity. I like to think that Girl Scouts open doors to new opportunities for girls, a lot of first-time activities that they'll be trying out, and this is just another opportunity that's afforded to them.
Which is great. And we just before we close up, I know we had talked a little bit about fathers being involved with the organization and all that. And as you know, I'm part of the club for the Man Enough to Be a Girl Scout program, which is wonderful. I loved being involved when my daughter was involved, and again, I'm very pro Scouting, and Girl Scouting is part of that, of course. So that's always great for dads out there that might be listening, that you really can be more engaged with the Girl Scouts, and that's all great. Now, if folks want to be involved with the Girl Scouts, how do they find out about the Girl Scouts?
That's right. Well, first I have to just say one more thing. I'm not going to let you quite get by on that. We do have the Man Enough program, and Tom very modestly mentioned it, but you're actually our Man of the Year.
Well,
so you've got all of 2017.
Now you're turning me red.
So we want to thank you for that,
certainly.
and raise you up for that. But as far as getting more involved, we have our website. That's where JerseyShoreGirlScouts.org. And on there is more information about, we have a Volunteer Now, where they can go right to and learn some opportunities for adults. We always need more adult volunteers. If we had more volunteers, we could serve even more girls.
Which is great.
Which is what
and you
we
could
really
probably
want
donate
to do.
through that website too?
Absolutely. So they can donate as well.
And a phone number?
Our phone number is 785. It's 800-785-2090.
Great. Well, I want to thank you very much for being with us, Dina. We're running out of time, so thank you very much. We appreciate it. Good luck to the Girl Scouts, and thank you for watching.